Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now one thing. You gotta really love yourself. It's a powerful thing. Now, it's really hard because you may not love yourself the way you are, how you are right now. It's really difficult. I've liked myself when I was younger, and I was a little bit too skinny. I would I mean I would argue that I was not that bad. A lot of times I felt pretty good about myself growing up, the first 20 years or the first 30 years of my life. Now I'm 37, and now I feel fat. However, I may be a little bit more handsome, according to some people, allegedly. Let's just say, maybe I'm personally a bad example. So let's forget about me. You know, whether you like me or not is not the point. But it can be argued that a lot of times guys become more attractive when they get older, as opposed to like women don't. Not always, I mean, but a lot of times you become uglier and ugly when you get older. And that can be very hard, especially when you start going downhill. For all you ladies out there, it could be very difficult if you're not taking care of yourself, or if you're not like a supermodel after the age of 30 or 40 or 50. It could be so hard. It could be so hard. But for a lot of men, or for some men, it's like the opposite is true, because what what all you ladies desire for men is not just beauty, but it's like power and money, and you gotta be able to take care of the ladies out there. And but at the same time, men will grow into their face. I'm sure ladies do too, but a lot of times it's not really necessary, even if it's true for the ladies out there. I know for me, I'm in a weird position. I mean, personally, how I feel is I tend not to really like the way that I look. Like right now, for example, I would rather be more like how I looked when I was 20, as opposed to now at 37, almost 40. Some people might say that I look better. Now, I would agree in some ways, but I wouldn't agree in other ways, like little the fabby, the how do I say, fat under the chin. Don't like that. It's possible that I could get rid of it if I ran around all day every day and become skin and bones. But the argument might be, chicks dig the the men who have a little bit of meat and potatoes on their bodies. If you look a little more meaty, a little more, you know, if you look a little bit better, than, who wants to date somebody who's skin and bones? And I'm not personally here to talk about my dating life, which would only take 1 second to explain. I don't have one. I don't really want one, at least not in the moment. I mean, I want one, but I don't want one. I mean, I just want to like do some other stuff first. I've talked about this, but um, what I wanted to say was, you really got to be happy with what you got. That doesn't mean that you should sit around and be a lazy bum. A lazy bum. But there's a lot of power and truth in understanding your role and understanding what you got going for yourself, even if it's not exactly what you want, even if it's not exactly what you wanted things to be like, how you wanted things to go. Like it's very difficult to have things exactly how you wanted it to be. And so you really gotta just like take what you can get. That doesn't mean you don't work hard. So you really gotta work hard, and you should try to look into yourself and try to see something that you can be happy about and content about, and a little bit like steadfast. Like you really gotta have some tenacity. You really gotta just be patient and happy and work hard and understand what you got. Like really understand what you got. Understand what's working. Like you really gotta take a note of it and talk to people about it if you don't really know, and even if you do know, because you never know what you don't know, even if you think you got it in the bag, totally done. Like even if you think you already know yourself, you don't. That's the thing, and it's devastating to not know yourself, but it's like you really gotta know yourself and be happy with what you got, kind of thing. But it's just so difficult because it's like you gotta really have some kind of peace that's like interwoven into your spirit that will keep you in your manhood or womanhood. I wanted to make this video for myself mostly, but perhaps for some men out there, but maybe not for all your ladies out there. Maybe not for you guys. I don't know. I don't know who I'm making this video for. I don't know. Maybe that's a problem. But I think another thing I wanted to say was you had to be happy, but that doesn't mean that you have to praise yourself, like worship yourself, kind of thing, which is something some people do, and you can do it, and it's like you can get addicted to being so obsessed with looking really, really good, really fit, going to the gym all the time, or doing a bunch of fitness, doing whatever you do to stay healthy and young and strong and fit, and whatever it is that you do. And that can become crazy in a lot of ways, because it takes you into a place that that you don't want to be in. Like it takes you off a cliff into a place where you lose focus on the ability to really be there for other people. Like you might still be able to be there for other people, kind of thing, family and friends and everything, but at the same time your focus may not really be there. And that's the difficult thing when you become so obsessed with anything, really, whether it's your own fountain of youth, or whether it's like obtaining money and power, influence, those kinds of things. It becomes something that's like in the back of your mind. And so you have people doing that. And on the other hand, on the other side of the spectrum, you have people doing like stuff, but whatever they're doing in their lives it's not really working. They may not feel good about it, whether they're focused or not. You're on the other side. If you're on the other side, you may not be taking care of yourself. You may not be taking care of your life and the people around you. You may feel like it's meaningless or it's impossible to really do. I say you don't know that. That's what I would say. First of all, I would say you don't know whether or not you can do it or not do it overcome obstacles if you're in really tough situations in life, which a lot of times people are. I mean, most of the time people are. And when people aren't, they just don't know they are. Like, they don't know they're not. Like, you don't know that you are in a tough situation. Like, you're always like, for the most part, it's like you are in a tough situation or the people around you are. For example, here's a big example. It's like, if you're a kid, you may not be in a tough situation, but your parents may be. And that's the devastating thing. It's like, it's tough for the parents a lot of times, but that's the thing about children is they're innocent and they're developing and they're growing up, and they need to be protected as they develop, and then it's their turn to fly, and they get knocked out of the nest, and they have to learn how to fly on their own, kind of thing. And it becomes difficult, and then, like, it should be difficult in the sense that you really got to build up your own momentum on how to fly, on how to take care of yourself. You really got to build up your muscles in life, and it could be very, very hard, but you want to do it. You really want to do it, and so you really want to be happy about it. I wanted to take a second to note how I felt about myself, and I think that this note, this observation that I'm making about myself, is something I probably should write down and then summarize. I could probably say it in a video, say it in 10 seconds. I mean, there's some backstory to what I'm trying to say, to the heart of the issue about myself that I wanted to tell myself. And then, like I said earlier, it's like I was happy with myself when I was younger, but in some ways I was skinnier, maybe too skinny, and maybe my face was a little bit too skinny. Maybe not. Like, I always liked it, but then again, it's like I was accustomed to my face, and so it's like it's possible that my face is different than a lot of people. Like, for example, it's possible that my chin is too small. I cannot say if it is, because I've not studied that. All I know is I've heard that some people have chins that are smaller than other people, and I may be one of them. And then you have other people with larger chins, like Jay Leno, and it's like, that's just one example. Then you can look at the eyes and the ears and the nose and the mouth and everything else. I mean, as far as the face goes, you can look at all those stuff, all those things. Look at the tongue, look at the lips, look at the skin, and not to mention the rest of the body. But it's like you can become hyper focused on those things, and then lose sight of what really matters in life. It could be hard for me. I may not be happy with a lot of things about myself, what I do, what I look like, everything. Like, for example, I may not even watch this video. Sometimes I watch my videos, but sometimes I really cannot stand it, because look at myself, and I may not like the way that I talk. I may not like the way that I look. I may not like a lot of different things. It's like I may not always say it, but it's true. But at the same time, you can still be happy in a way, in a sense, like you can still find a way to learn how to look at life in a way, like with a spirit of, I appreciate that there is some effort going into it that is beneficial. And it's especially important to be in a community where you help other people in a lot of ways, and in that way, when other people rely on you, depend on you, you can focus on that as a job in a sense, and that can be really, really good, and it can serve as a distraction from all the terror in your life, all the problems, all the things that you don't like about life, all the things you don't like about yourself, or whatever it might be. Otherwise, what ends up happening is you're just like in your life, you're in a bubble, in a lot of ways, in a bubble, and you become upset about things, about yourself, and like upset with yourself, upset with things around you, and then you end up in these positions where you don't know exactly what to do, and you're all by yourself, kind of thing, with nobody who's like depending on you, and then you have this ability to like do almost anything. Like it's a kind of freedom that you don't want to have, even though freedom is good. It's also a dangerous thing, and I'm not advocating against freedom, but it's like you have to understand the weight of it all, and it's a lot of weight that is on it. That's on living life. It's very hard, but you can be happy, and you can also be striving for a lot more at the same time. And you really gotta find that balance. Otherwise, you're gonna fall apart and crumble like a bunch of dried up oatmeal.